Welcome back. Political parties have, in the main, welcomed the Finance Minister's budget policy statement, saying they are pleased that the Minister has prioritized the fight against corruption. The ANC said it was happy that spending on infrastructure has been increased.
No, we're quite happy with the budget speech because it is throwing numbers into a program that has evolved over a number of interventions, from the conference of the ANC to the January 8th, to the Lekgotla of the ANC, of the Cabinet, the State of the Nation address. Now we've seen numbers thrown in those programs, whether it is the youth employment incentive, whether it is in education infrastructure, whether it is in the fight against corruption and crime. All the issues that have been put there, we are putting numbers into a program that has evolved.
But we would have liked to have seen more detailed proposals on how we're planning to hold public servants to account on their delivery, how we're going to hold teachers to account. These are things that are front and centre in the National Development Plan, as is a commitment to spend at around 10% of GDP on infrastructure. And we look, in this budget, we see for the next 3 years we're going to be spending around 7%. That's a considerable shortfall when we've got a major infrastructure backlog to make up. And we would have liked to have seen more proposals to increase that amount, but also to increase the quality of spending on infrastructure. We've found that over the past 3 years we've spent about three quarters of our infrastructure budgets. So we need to not only increase the amount we spend on infrastructure, but increase the quality of that spending, and we didn't see a lot in that speech today.
Well, unemployment is tipped as the number one issue for all South Africans, so it was important. I think, yes, in a sense that he embraced the National Development Plan, and all South Africans are very happy with that plan. The big thing now is, can they implement it correctly? If that is happening, I think we will definitely see a growth potential with regard to jobs. The other big thing is whether he will be able to get business and labor in a pact together to have national consensus around the national priorities in the National Development Plan. If he's successful, we will definitely see jobs, and that is good news. My concern is that we're not so sure that we will see perfect and good implementation side of the NDP. The track record of government is not so good, and we will probably see not Labour embracing it with the same enthusiasm.
Well, of course, we can see that the economic growth was less than expected, which is not surprising, because there was also less revenue generated, less revenue than was expected. And I think that the minister did an adroit job, because clearly the economic recession is everywhere, and I think that within that constraints, I think that he has done very well indeed. I don't think that anyone else could have done better. And I think that we should all take seriously some of the precautions about corruption, because the money that is budgeted in this country doesn't go to actually pay for the things that for which it is budgeted. We warned about those things, and one can hope also. One is sorry that, of course, the money for all pensioners was only increased by 60 rands, but of course, in the situation in which the country is economically, one couldn't blame the minister for that.
But we welcome the additional funding that has been made available to the Department of Justice, the National Prosecuting Authority, and the Thuthuzela care centres. These will go a long way to address the scourge of rape in society, and we welcome that, as well as the additional funds for police training and forensic investigation and training of detectives. But in view of this very tight budget, these departments are all going to be under severe pressure, but these additional allocations are welcomed.
It's time for a break. When we return, Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe replies to questions in the National Council of Provinces. Please stay with us.